So hi everyone, today we are going to start and install the CentOS latest operating system. So in order to install the CentOS operating system in a Windows machine, first of all what we have to do is that we have to download a virtualization software. Now what is a virtualization software? Virtualization software is a software which helps us to run another operating system in our existing operating system. So how do we install it? So for this we will install VMware Workstation Pro. So let's click on VMware Workstation Pro. So we will go to this particular website. So we will scroll down and we will click on download now. So after pressing on this button, a website will open. Which is broadcom.com. So here we have to log in, or for the first time users who are visiting, they can simply go over to this button and register here, right? So they can complete the registration first and then log in. As I have completed the registration, I am logging directly. So here I can see my downloads. In here my downloads, I can search free software downloads available here. So just click here and a web page will open. In here we can search for the product. For example, we can search for the keyword workstation, and we will search for the show results. So we can see that here is this VM Workstation Pro. Then just click on this option, and from here download the VM Workstation Pro for Windows, and you can choose the release version, which is the latest one. And here you have the downloading page. You can download the VM Workstation Pro from here, which is a HTTPS download, and it will directly start the downloading. It may also ask for some more address verifications, but from here it will start downloading, right? So after the downloading, it comes to the installation phase. In the installation phase, there are just some things that you need to take care of, as I have already installed the VMware. So I'm showing the screenshot. So in this VMware Workstation Pro, just make sure to accept the license agreement and install Windows Hypervisor platform automatically if it comes to ask you. Also add it to the path so that we can work on it easily. For example, here it is given as add VMware Workstation console tools into system path, right? Just check it and just press on next and press on installation, right? So this is the VMware Workstation. It looks just like this particular interface. Here are the different kind of machines that I have already installed in my PC. So you can also do that. So let's install CentOS. Now the ISO image. So just make sure every time you want to install any operating system, you must have the ISO image. So we will go to download CentOS from here, and we will search on the download folders here, and we can see the versions here. So for the architecture, for example, we have the 64-bit operating system. We have to search for here mirrors. So ISO image, right? We will click here, and right here we can see that we have the option to download the CentOS Team 10 latest, right? And after clicking on the save here, we can download it. Okay, so as I have already downloaded, even we can also press on the download button and it will start the download, right? From here. So it will start downloading. So I have already downloaded it. So let's now install the VM. So first of all, create and go to the new virtual machine. Select on custom. Then hardware is this only, and then select on next. Yes, I will install the operating system later. So we want to install a Linux operating system. So this is the operating system which we want to install. It is like the latest hardware that we are creating. So let's browse our virtual machine path, and I want to store it into this file. Okay, next. So I need two core number of cores per processor, and I want the total number of processors. So there are total 4 cores, right? Let's press on next. Let's keep default RAM as 2 GB. Let's use this address only, which is default. LSI logic is recommended. Let's create the disk as NVMe only. So yes, we are creating a new virtual disk. So let's keep the size as 40 GB here, as we will need a lot of space to work on. And select on the option for split virtual disk into multiple files. So right, this is all the hardware specification that we are going to create for our new operating system, which is a CentOS operating system. So let's finish on that. So as we can see here, the hardware part is created for our CentOS operating system, a different kind of environment. So let's select on the CD DVD. So use ISO image and browse the ISO image where you have downloaded it. For example, we have downloaded the CentOS 10 latest operating system, right? Let's open it, and it's selected. Now let's power on the firmware first. For example, we always used to load the boot menu first, right? So similarly, let's power on the boot menu first. Let's go to the boot menu. Let's make the CD DVD ROM drive as the first priority by pressing on Shift plus. Let's put the hard drive on second, right? And the removal device is on third, and the network boot is from fourth, right? So this is the order that we will keep, and we will exit saving changes and exit, right? So after exiting, the bootloader will install again, and what we want to do, we want to install CentOS. So the installation from here will start. As we can see now, the installer has started. So let's select our language as English default in the both the parts, right? So let's press on continue. It's auto detected installation destination. So yes, we want to install in this part. Storage configuration, we want to do it custom. Let's press on done. So what we are going to make, we are going to make the standard partitions. Before making standard partitions, I would like you to reference from this particular page, which is the manual partition, which is mostly recommended for the 40 GB part. So as we can see, first the separator is made with the 10 GB of space. So let's make the first separator part with 10 Gs of space. So for GB you just have to put G, and for M you just have to put in M. So also do it as extension 4. So it is added. Now let's move to the second part. We have boot. So let's add boot with the space of 500 MB. So 500 M, the boot partition is added. And we have the USR third. Let's add the USR is not visible here, so let's write USR and give the size as 10 GBs also, 10 GBs. So add mount point and extension 4 here also. So then let's add the fourth, which is var. So the fourth partition and the size of 8 GBs, 8G, add mount point. Now let's add another disk, which is home, add another partition. So it is also of 2 GB space. Let's add the mount point here. Let's mark it as extension 4. So it is boot should also be extension 4. Right? Now we will add the next part. So it should be also extension 4. Okay, so let's add another partition. We have the swap partition which is left. So the swap partition should have 4 GB of space. It is important to make sure that the swap partition contains 2 times the space as compared to the RAM that we are having. So we will add the swap, and the file system of swap will remain as swap. So let's check for another partitions file systems. Okay, all are extension 4, and just that is the swap, which is the swap partition. So we are done with the partitions. Also, if we want, we can add this bio boot. We will put 1 GBs, but it will take the space automatically. which is BIOS boot 2 MB, so it will remain as file system as BIOS boot only. So we have added all the partitions and we will leave the 5 GB space as free if we want to modify it later. So we are done with the partitions. Check the detail. Less than 5, which is lower than recommended for CentOS operating system. Okay, we can increase it to 600 MB. Let's see now if we can do it. Accept changes. So this is the all the change that we are going to do. So let's select, let's keep it as default server with GUI. Done. And dump is enabled. Time and date zone, you can choose automatic or you can choose here Asia, and as I'm in India, so I'm selecting the Indian time zones here. So let me search here. So time zone will be Kolkata. Here is Kolkata, right? So we are done with the time zone, network host name. This will be done later. So let's add root account, enable root account. So let's give any root password. So we have added the root password. So this is SSH login, which we can remotely log in. So let's not check this option for now. Let's create an user. For example, Jatin Chaudhary. So this is the username for root user, and let's give the password here. So this is the user that we are going to create, and let's press on begin installation. So now the installation will start. The default installation will take place and the CentOS operating system will open. So let's wait a while. So as you can see, installation is starting right now. So now as we can see that our system has been installed, let's let's reboot our system. Let's press on reboot. So as we can see, our CentOS operating system is starting. So yes, we can see our profile name, which is Jatin Chaudhary, which is me first. And also I can log in into that, or I can also log in into, for example, the root user, and the password I have to put in. So this is the Linux operating system that we are going to use, and we are logged in as privileged user for now, and we can search anything, right? So let's see what we can have here. So we have all the applications here, right? Also we can go to the settings, and we can do the settings as per our requirements, and also we can search for the terminal. For example, search for terminal. So here is the terminal which we are going to use. So we can simply write in here, for example, pwd, which is the present working directory that we have. Also we can see all the manual partitions that we have made using fdisk-l. So this is the manual partitions that we have made for now, and it's pretty specific that we have made, and we can use them in a good way. And we can see the name of the partitions that we have made: swap, variable boot, extended boot, root, variable swap. And we will be using all these partitions in our course, and we will be doing running lots of Linux commands in here. So thank you all for staying with me and coming to this end, and I hope that all of you are able to install the Linux operating system, which is CentOS, in your computer. Thank you and have a great day ahead.